We don't want to go from a cement sidewalk to couch cushions just because I went into a lighter register. And then sing now in the head voice you'd like to use, but with those bones. If I watched you on mute, I should think maybe you're belting. Hi, I'm Jason Ferrante. I'm a tenor, and I'm a voice teacher to many young artist programs at opera houses and to professional singers. Today I'm here with Tonebase to teach a course I'm calling Small Exercises, Big Ethics, where we're going to talk through a few exercises that are made of very simple tunes, but have big ideas behind them, and we'll talk about how you can take those ideas and transfer them immediately to your repertoire. Ethics is not a word you hear often when we're talking about singing technique or any technique when it comes to learning music. The Webster Dictionary refers to it as a set of moral beliefs, but it also refers to it as a way of how you live and how you think and how you study. And today I want to talk about a few exercises that allow you to tap in to your ethics as a singer. So the part of the definition of ethics that refer to a sort of code of conduct that you have, that throws morals out the window. And it just talks about how you behave and how you treat your instrument. So in thinking about small exercises with big ethics, I'm thinking of exercises that you can carry in your pocket anywhere. We sit around and we try to identify what the point is, so that we're not just singing a scale and we're not just singing, "Ah, I love to sing," and think that that meant something. Right? What does it mean? So the exercises I'm going to talk about today, by no means should you feel like these are the definitive ones you should do. I'm going to use a few that I do to give you an idea of what it feels like to take an exercise apart and apply it clearly to what you're doing. When it comes to the spirit of getting out of your own head, I ask this question: what would happen if for 20 minutes a day you did get into your head? And when we say stop listening to yourself, you're just listening to yourself too much. What if you did listen to yourself and maybe got in your own way and made the body just a little bit smarter than your nerves? I'm a singing teacher. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not qualified to talk about that. But I can talk about ways to think about your singing that may make you feel just a little bit more confident, whether you're singing a lead role on the great stages of the world, or you're singing at your cousin's wedding and you don't want to make a fool of yourself. So let's jump in and talk about some simple exercises. Let's talk about what the real ethic behind it is, and then apply it maybe to the first line of a piece or two. This idea can apply to exercises you already do. It doesn't have to be the ones we're going to do today. It can be an exercise that, if you've studied voice, your teacher has given you and you love. The algebra will be the same. X plus Y equals Z. X is the exercise. Y is your voice. Z is good singing. One day it's going to be this exercise. The next day it'll be another. But I hope that knowing that fundamental, those ethics in your technique, you can go anywhere, sing with anyone, in any place, in any piece, and at least know what you're trying to do. The first exercise I want to talk about today is getting the chords to come together so that they can make a noise. Let's not talk about oids and isms. Let's not use any props. There are no yoga balls or straws today. Let's just talk about why that is important, and let's not talk about it in terms of singing. Most of you watching have poured a cup of coffee or a glass of water. I guarantee you, in every case, you have put the vessel there before you've poured into it. In that spirit, where is the strength of your vessel before you pour into it? You would never pour your coffee and then race the cup in late. I'm going to go after something that we hear all the time, just to pose a question, and it can be totally rhetorical for you. Is singing like speech? Yes, in that it's you, and that you're communicating text or human voice noise. But I did not order coffee today on a high C. And I didn't say hello to my friends this morning while trilling. I chose a pitch that was casual, that they could understand. There wasn't duration. Mozart didn't tell me in advance when to sing it and for how long, and I wasn't projecting over an orchestra. So in that spirit, we have to at least acknowledge that while it is like speech, it is so vastly different. It's sort of like the difference between hot and cold water. I could tell you just relax and sing like speech, right? And I could prove to you that cold water that goes into a little paper cup, that cup could also hold boiling water. You already know that it can't. My job, and your job, is to demonstrate structure under those conditions. So let's talk about just attacking a pitch simply on the very small exercise with some big ethics. We're going to attack 4 times short. Seems pretty simple. I could have had no structure. I was late. I'm already feeling lactic acid come in and telling me to knock it off. In that spirit, we can apply the 4 short attack exercise to the front of the first note of everything we sing when we're in the vocal gym. So if I'm singing my best una voce poco fa, I can sing ooh, 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 una voce poco fa. Great. Then I've taught this dog in the gym to have some structure, and maybe when I go on stage, it'll be there for me, and maybe not. Let's do a few of these on different vowels. I, E, A, O. I, E, A, O. It's decisive, it's on time, there's a little bit of aggression to it, not a bad word. Imagine if I didn't fully press the key when I played the piano. We must have structure at the very beginning of every attack. We are the only musical instrument that does not show up with pre-made hard matter. My motherboard that decides inflection and softness and loudness also decides structure. Thank goodness the Lincoln Tunnel's made of stone, right? So when I drive through it, the contents are free. Let's keep working on getting a little more structure, and let's add a held note at the end this time, and we'll talk about that. This is the next starting exercise that I want to look at. The first one, just 4 short attacks. The ethic there was to look for structure before I onset. This can be in Happy Birthday. This can be in Casta Diva. It's always the same. Now, in the held one, the ethic we're going to look for here is building fresh structure of the vessel, not the voice, not the color, not the vowel, as part of the cutoff, just as much as the onset, so that our phrases have structural foundations as bookends. So, sometimes just by lifting the bonage of the chest, and that is probably not a word, but it is now, we're going to go When I lift my torso slightly, I feel the vacuum pull the pieces of air that I feel like I don't have at the end of a phrase. And it gives me the freshness of a real vowel as a bookend to what I was singing. Using the previous example, ooh, 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 una voce poco fa. We've just isolated a phrase and applied 2 ethics to it. Maybe this muscle memory can be just a little stronger than my nerves, and that's something that will help carry me through any moment. Let's see how those first 2 ethics can show up in the practice room, or what I'm calling today the vocal gym. It's a lot less personal. There are things you're going to do in your vocal gym that you won't do on stage. I guarantee you Olympic swimmers lift weights. You've never seen them swim with them. Allow yourselves to apply weight analogies to your work in the gym so you strengthen the vessel, so it can take things like nerves and a conductor you don't get along with, or people in the room that make you feel scrutinized. There's nothing like that sort of pressure that can undo a singer, unless we've pre-gamed and made this instrument out of hard matter in advance, like every other instrument has the benefit of. No one plays the piano and has to worry about making it turn into wood while playing it. We have to give ourselves structure when we sing. It's not aggressive, it's not violent, it's responsible.